Hi, this is Nicole from This Moment is Good Loom Knitting. Today I'm going to show you how to do the different knit stitches on the loom. And these are done the same way on every loom. We have the E-wrap knit, we have the regular knit, we have the flat knit, and a U-knit. All four are done a little bit different, and they do produce different looks. Most of you are probably familiar with what's called the E-wrap knit. And in case you're not, we're going to show it to you. Basically, you would take your yarn. If this is your first peg, I knit in a counterclockwise way. You're going to take your yarn behind the peg and wrap clockwise and hold your yarn to the back here. Then you're going to lift your loops. This is my first row, so I have 2 loops on it from joining in the round. So I'm going to lift the first one and the second one. Then to do it again, I'm going to go around and just lift the loop over top. That is your E-wrap knit. Behind the peg, clockwise around the peg, knit over. That's your E-wrap knit. Okay, so next we'll do what's called the U-knit. The U-knit, well actually, you know what, let's do the regular knit. We'll start with the regular knit. Okay, the regular knit is the opposite of the purl stitch. So you lay your working yarn above your bottom loop, reach up, grab, pull it down, make a second loop, lift the entire thing off, and put the new loop back on the loom. Pull tight. Not too tight, but just snug. Next peg, we'll do the same thing. This is your regular knit stitch. Make your new loop. You can use your tool if you want to lift it up over. Then put the new loop that was created back on the peg. And that is your regular knit stitch. That stitch looks the most like the knit stitch in regular needle knitting. So that's going to look as close as possible. I would use this stitch always for Fair Isle knitting. Your pattern will make a nicer look if you're trying to do a design in your knitting. Definitely use the regular knit stitch. Your flat knit stitch is your tightest stitch. This one can be very difficult for beginners because it can be, if you don't have a real elastic yarn, your stitches can get very tight and you won't be able to pull them over. But the flat knit is just as it appears. You lay your working yarn flat across the front of your loom, your pegs, and you knit over. But as you can see, there's no slack, so you can end up with very tight stitches. This, it's hard to do this with holding it down where you can see it. And then still holding my working yarn. But basically, let me see if I can do it this way and still show you. Nope, still wants to pop over. This is usually the easiest stitch to do, so I don't know why it's giving me so much trouble. I think because I'm trying to show you how to do it. Okay, so you grab the bottom loop and you pull it over the top loop. It's very quick usually. You go around when this is sitting on your lap, and you yank it right over. You can loosen them by pushing every now and then in between the loops. This is a great stitch for things you want to last. Christmas stockings that you're going to have a lot of weight in if you're going to use them. It works great. It makes a super tight knit stitch. You'll still have the little V's in your knitting, but they'll be very, very small and very tight. So this one's good for that purpose. Then there's something called, that was the flat knit, in case I didn't tell you. The last one I'm going to show you is the U-knit. And the U-knit is somewhere in between your regular knit and your flat knit as far as tightness goes. It still gives you the V, but it's going to be a little looser than the flat knit, but a little tighter than the regular knit. So the way you do that is you take your working yarn in front of the peg and you basically make a U. So basically you're going around and you're making the U behind it, holding it from back, and then lifting your bottom loop over top. Go to the next one, do the same thing, make your U, and lift your bottom loop over your top. Do it again. Go around, hold it. Oops. Sorry, this is sliding really bad. So basically, there are your 4 stitches for knit stitches. And each pattern will call for a different one depending on what the designer wants you to do. All right, thank you. Have a great day.